Welcome to Ask a Black Man, where we get real answers from real men. This is the Fatherhood episode, where the men share their co-parenting struggles and their personal highs and lows of being a black father. Let's meet the men.
That's a societal thing that we're being painted as deadbeat dads.
You don't have the best relationship with your dad. Try and work that out.
We don't take the time out to understand who we are.
Women can appreciate the good man when they see it.
As soon as they drop that message like, oh, I'm pregnant, you be like,
The child exposes different levels of how broken you really are.
My father's more like the person who is just biologically, that dad is more endearing. Dad is who's been there every day. Dad is, who's taking care of the household responsibility. That, to me, that's dad.
Yeah.
But I guess it just
We
how you look at
get
it.
caught up on.
Yeah, as long as you know the difference of it. Yeah.
I think we all understand like there's like a difference.
There's a difference between
like knock your mom up.
Exactly. Dude, who is there? Exactly.
Baby daddy.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, that's probably how we should do it. Put
Yeah.
the baby in front of the dad, just like, all right, that's the guy we talking about.
Yeah,
Other
yeah.
than that, we know the person that's there every day.
Who's
that's
there,
just
who
helping
deserves
you
the
with the
acclaim
homework,
and
it's just like sometimes you gotta body slam these kids, but
Yeah.
body slam, good word. But yeah, so we know the difference.
Yeah.
There
There's
definitely
a
is
distinct difference.
distinction. I feel like it really depends on their personal experience and how it either makes them angry or appreciative.
Yeah. Exactly, because I have friends and their kids' dads weren't in their life, so they can be bitter. But then they see me or even other closer friends like, okay, you're taking care of your child, you're doing what you have to do. So now I see what the potential in their dad can really be. So I'm not gonna I made one mistake with my kid's father. My next child, I know what I'm looking for in a certain type of man, how to take care of my son or my child and do what it is. So I think women can appreciate the good man when they see it, but unfortunately sometimes for some women it is after they had messed up with it.
Right.
But to feed off what Carl said, to me, it gets into the idea of expectation. And I think a lot of women, and even from generally, starting off from the initial meeting, have expectations of a man. Here's what a man is, and then even fatherhood. Here's what a father is. Yeah. And a lot of times when that expectation or the ideology of what that is not met, you might get the backlash of, well, he's not a good father. He could be doing everything he feels like he's supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. But if it's not where her mind is with it, it's he's not really a great father. Or he can improve here and there. And I feel like it's more about
That comes down to communication.
It's communication,
too.
exactly.
And that's what I think it is. But I think, like I said, it's communication, but we also all have internal expectations or ideologies of what we feel like someone should be. Even if it's right or wrong, we somewhat have that.
It's also like, it sounds like it's societal pressure.
Yes.
Like, you're on TV and you're seeing, all these images of what a father should be. Oh, he drives you to school, makes you breakfast and packs your lunch and picks you up from school. So whenever the woman now sees, okay, they're not really doing this, they're not really doing that, then he's not a great father. So I think the nomenclature that's associated with all of these things is what also brings down the definition and the feeling of what a father is for a father. So if the woman doesn't understand that, then she can't say, hey, your dad is great, make sure that you talk to him, make sure that you share, whatever the case may be.
No, are you talking about
it becomes like an actualization, It's
Yeah,
like,
but
as soon as they drop that message like, oh, I'm pregnant, you be like,
Okay,
the thing is though, in my case though,
I got was like, oh, we need to talk. I was like,
Yo, that line to get you in so much trouble. You was like, I need to talk while my phone don't work right now.
in my case though, it wasn't my lady that was putting the pressure on me. It was her mom's, my mom, her dad, my dad. It was all the family that are just like, so what you gonna do?
Everybody pressures you.
Absolutely.
They're all going through divorces. They're all miserable in marriage.
Yep.
You ever went to, the reason why I was put on the whole marriage thing, I went to church, we had our son there. Church I grew up in, they was like, yeah, so when you getting married? Now the people that's pushing us to get married were all going through a divorce.
Ain't that crazy?
They push that on you. And I think that it's more of I don't think men really want to get married. I think at some point we'd be like, okay, I found a good person and I want to settle down and it's a good idea. But initially it's always seemed like a woman that always like, so when we gonna do this? When we gonna do it? At some point you like, all right, I'll just do it.
But honestly, as a man, I always did want to get married. I wanted. It sounds corny. I wanted the wife, the kid, the white picket fence, great career, that stuff. So ideally, I think majority I would think.
But that's probably because that's what you saw, right?
Yeah. My parents they get divorced, but they were married when they had me for probably fucking while, probably 10 years maybe, I guess, whatever. Ideally, I do think you should do in order, get married, then have kids. But if you do it the other way around, I'm not gonna just because I have a child with you, I might not marry you. Like to me, I'm like you should a child. That shouldn't be a reason to get married.
But marriage doesn't solve anything.
No.
It doesn't.
Nor does children.
But not even children.
But so then again, to play devil's advocate, it's like why are you to play devil's advocate? It's like why are you having kids with someone you can't see yourself marrying in the first place?
And I think that goes both ways. And I think it's a maturity concept. Like certain people aren't mature enough to know what they want tomorrow, much less 5 years down the line. And you sleeping with somebody that's really cool right now, but you can't stand when you're not around them. You know what I'm saying? Like. And I think marriage, people put the label of marriage out there. And I think marriage is a great thing. I think, if you're in love and happy, get married. Yeah. But I also think at the same time, people think like, all right, so what you waiting for? So what's taking so long? So what's going on? So what you think about? When it's going to be official? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like you might get the outside pressure of the relationship, the friends that either are single and bitter or married and get on.
Dumb heifers.
Straight heifers.
We're all looking for a sense of love, either love that we got from our parents or love that we're missing from our parents. And we sometimes attach to somebody who's just as lost or damaged as us. And it's not really love. Either she's cute and you like her because she's cute and she makes you feel wanted, or he's cute and he makes her feel wanted. And we attach to that and we keep it there, and we wind up having kids out of that connection of what we thought love was. And a lot of times we have kids out of wedlock, being lost ourselves, having kids, and then raising kids to be lost because we never had that opportunity to find ourselves.
Because a lot of people, they don't take that time to actually work on themselves, We don't take the time out to understand who we are, what our true desires are. When I had my child, it was an accident. Like, I was getting over a relationship, and I walked
out. But you chose to be there in his life.
But I chose to be there because of what I saw. Yeah. I love my son. I want to be there. So I didn't necessarily have a son to be a dad. I always knew I wanted to be a father. Yeah. But in that year span time, I took time to get to know myself, to understand.
But the piggyback of what you just said is, that's one of the issues. That we have kids without the intention of raising them together as a unit. And a lot of kids are unplanned.
Exactly. It's brokenness. You know what I'm saying? You broken, I'm broken, we're both kind of together. Exactly. Oh crap, we got a kid.
Together, our brokenness, we'll put our pieces together and it happens to work for now.
And then we have this child, and it's like our brokenness is not going to raise a whole foundation that a child requires. If anything, the child exposes different levels of how broken you really are.
Yeah, but what about the consciousness in that?
Yeah, exactly. Who wants to go into it?
If I have a kid with somebody, or if I get somebody pregnant, where's that conversation? Yeah. Like, what do you see out of this? Oh, well, I just want to have a kid with you. Like, that's not really forward thinking. That's not somebody thinking 5, 6, 10 years, and definitely not in the best interest of the child.
I think that's a societal thing that we're being painted as deadbeat dads. The fact that the laws are now set up that if you're in the courtroom because she wants to take you, you're considered
a bad dad,
a number. You're not considered a father of what you do. Like bad experience, I had that. I was sitting there and I'm just saying to this woman, like, okay, this is my ex-wife, the mother of my children. What do you mean I gotta pay child support from the day that I was born? I put me through school, I put her through school. I gotta pay child support from the day my children were born, and they still live in my house, but she wanted to be, I wouldn't say vindictive in a way because I don't want to paint it in a bad light, but that for whatever reason, she did it. And I had to sit there and look at the judge and just say, that makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But to feed off what you said to me, even the word and concept of deadbeat, that's a discussion. Right. Yeah. That's something that people have an emotional context to. They throw around like it's light and like there's nothing behind it. When yet, you could have someone that doesn't know you at all but knows her and say, he a deadbeat. But yet someone who knows you directly, and they could have just seen you do something with your child. They'd be like, he's not a deadbeat at all. You know what I'm saying? I just saw him with his child. What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. So you see what I'm saying? It's a societal concept that to me, that someone bitter created, stirred it up, and a bunch of other bitter people got together and created this concept of deadbeat. And to me, the truer problem is, like you said, back into the court system, where this mentality of who you are and how you should be treated because you are now a biological father, it actually borderlines being a parolee. You know what I'm saying? It's like, seriously, being a father in the court system and being a criminal are not that far apart in legal systems, how things are set up.
Listen, if you're gonna do it with somebody that you can actually envision yourself. And if it doesn't work out, it sucks. But like, at least be cool enough that it's just like, all right, I'm gonna move on. Man. You're gonna move on. Let's not hit the swords with each other when we move on.
So to sum it up, do it with somebody that you are willing to be miserable for the rest of your life with.
Wow. So simple, right?
Wow.
Hey.
That's all I'm saying. What?
I think it's understanding what your daughter is to you before you can even really answer this question. You know, because like when I had my daughter, I saw everything in me, in her. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, it's crazy how everything I find, like the strong parts, the delicate parts, all that is in an external being outside of me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, now I'm more protective of her. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm crazy in love with her. You know what I'm saying? Like this is my baby girl. So I think the man that I want my daughter to be with, he has to love her, if he can, further than I can love her, which is almost impossible.
A lot of guys aren't being introspective and saying, okay, and the way I'm treating these women out here, I'm dating this one, doing that one with this one, is that conducive to me being a good parent?
Absolutely.
A lot of people aren't. So I think I've definitely had to look at myself sometime, okay, well, would I want my daughter, if I had a daughter, would I want my daughter dating a man like me? And I came to the conclusion that, if I didn't, I would change it. But yes, I would. The intentions that I have for myself and for my family, I would definitely want my daughter to marry a man like me. I definitely.
Absolutely.
Well, I have a daughter. She's 5, and she's way cooler than me. So I would want her to date someone like me as a balance of her creativity and her brilliance versus, my kind of standard. I'm stable. But I think that she would gravitate more so to somebody who has her same creative flair. So in that, I would recommend me. But
you consider yourself, but you consider yourself a good man enough that if she married somebody, if she brought home someone like you with the intentions of you, you'll be okay with it.
If you're talking about your values,
your core
beliefs,
values, exactly.
What makes you a man.
It don't matter what state you live in, exactly.
What you stand for, those are the things I think that she's referring to, and I think that if you're confident in your values and if you respect yourself and if other people respect you, then I think that you should be able to say without a doubt, absolutely. Amen. She better date me.
She better date somebody like me.
I've been married and I was not marriage minded until I was with a woman that made me think, oh, that's dope. The idea of having a woman, a partner on board, let's do that. But before then, I hadn't really seen it work, so I didn't have a context to say, I want that one day. All I saw was divorce. I was like, I don't want that one day.
For more dialogue on fatherhood, subscribe to Madame Noire's YouTube channel.